In the last 7 days, I have bought 10 blue chip altcoins. Now we are about to enter an exciting phase with altcoins. And this is known as the speed up phase. And what it means is tokens start slow and they start to move way more aggressively to the upside. And the key is to get in them before the speed up starts. Guys, welcome to the Sniper channel. I'm Sheldon the Sniper, and I'm here to bring you guys crypto education. None of this is financial advice. This is my personal education that I've learned on the journey. And by you seeing me do things for myself, I'm pretty sure you're gonna learn a lot on this journey. Remember guys, when I hit 100,000 subscribers, I will be giving away Sniper bags. What these bags are is I trade on the side. When I make profits, I put USDT into these bags. And when we reach 100,000 subscribers, I will be giving it away to you guys. Now, let's jump into it. So the first thing I wanna show you guys is the 10 altcoins that I've bought. The second thing that I wanna show you is how did I understand where to buy them and where to take profits. And the third one is to understand how much money should I put into each altcoin. So guys, now I'm gonna give you 10 altcoins that I have bought. Now these altcoins are blue chips in the market. What I've done is I've taken the best narratives in the market, I've looked at what are the best tokens, and I've also looked at where are they when it comes to investment entries. And these tokens that I'm bringing to you are phase A and phase B buys, which means as an investor, you want to buy emotions that are red, tokens that have been coming down for some time and then been going in the sideways period. And this is known as that anger and depression phase. And this is where you're really looking to start your investments, because after this, at some point, the cycle starts to reset. And when it resets, it starts to go into the green emotions. And that's when you'll tend to see price starts to go up slowly and then really starts to speed up. So not only am I not making a gambler's mistake, where I'm just buying everything that's hot at the moment or that's been moving, I'm looking at what Ferraris are in the market and what narratives are the best and making sure that I load up on these tokens first. And one more thing that makes it important for me to know why should I be buying these tokens now is if they are about to break a long-term trend or if they already have started breaking a trend. This is giving me a little bit more urgency to show me that the token is gonna start moving soon. So now I'm going to bring up the charts, and what you're gonna see is where I have been buying this token, what range have I been accumulating this token, and you're also going to see an exit strategy. Now the exit strategy is a laddering out system. And what this means is when I buy an investment, I'm not looking to just sell it all as it's going up. I'm selling it in different increments in different phases. So you will see there's certain points I'm taking 50% of the capital out, which means I'm taking 50% of the investments and taking profits, which will give me my initial capital back on a lot of tokens, plus some profits, but it's making me start to keep some cash. Then as the token gets to the next phase, I'll be laddering up to 100% out of my entire investment. Now sometimes I'll leave a little bit left in case the token goes a bit higher, but the key here is not to catch the exact top. The key is to sell in a green phase area and make sure that you've made good gains and you've bought in good areas. You don't care about the extra 10, 20, 30% you could have got. You've made a great investment. So let's start with my 10 tokens. The first token that I'm bringing to you guys is one of the best out there, right? And this for me is a blue chip and it's still sitting in a very good area. And this token is called Solana. Now Solana is sitting between the $200 and the $230 mark as we speak right now. And this is where I've been accumulating this token. So as you can see over here, I've been buying between this $195 and this $240 zone. I have bought my entire investment in this already, but this is where I have been loading up. Now the important thing to see is I have bought this in phase B. And what that means is it's not the cheapest token in the market, but I'm still buying it in the investment category, which means that everyone is still uncertain about Solana. They've seen strength, but are we gonna break all-time highs? Are we gonna see an explosion? No one is confident yet. And that for me means that I'm still sitting in the investment areas. When do they start to become confident? When it breaks new highs. Solana goes to $300, $400. People will no longer be sitting on hope. They'll be sitting on euphoria because now it's exciting, it is happening. And because the next phase above this is C, means that when we break into C phase, we should start to see a very fast acceleration. So if you look at this over here, this is where I've been accumulating. Now the exit strategy for me is quite simple. If I'm buying in a phase, I'm looking to start offloading one phase above, and the next phase above, I want to be majority out of the position. So if you look at this over here, the next phase is in the areas of around the $360 to the $400 mark at the top. If I've been buying the top of phase B, I want to start exiting the top of phase C. This is where I'll exit 50% of the position. And because this is sitting up to 100% away, basically means I'm taking my initial capital out. Then when we get to the next areas, which is between the $490 and the $520 mark, I'll be exiting the rest of my position. Now guys, SOL for me is one of the lower risk tokens. So this is a token I'll be putting more capital in. I'm not looking for the 10x, 20x. I'm looking to grow a larger amount of capital, a little bit more safer and in a top blue chip. And I'm happy with the 100 to 150% returns on this investment. Now we jump into token number 2. Now token number 2, I like trading and investing in this market in bull cycles majority. There's a lot of times I don't sit in this token as an investment, but when we get to the exciting part of our altcoin run, this one's a big one, and this token is Cardano. Now Cardano is one of the biggest communities out there. It has been through many cycles before and tends to perform incredibly well in strong bull rallies. And the amazing thing about this entry is you could see we are sitting at the bottom area of phase A, which is known as the best investment areas for me. Not only are we sitting in the bottom phase, we are not far away from an important trend line break, which means when we start breaking this trend, it's very likely we're going to start moving into phase B. So my areas where I've been accumulating is between 70 and 90 cents. Majority of my buys happen between 80 to 85 cents. Where I'm looking to offload is in phase B, middle of phase B, and that's between the $2.3 and the $2.7 mark. I'll be taking 50% of my capital. Now, because this is sitting up to 200% away, I'll already be in profits by taking 50% in this area. Where I'm looking to offload the rest is in phase C. And this is between $3.4 and $3.8, and I'll be 100% out of this token. Now we jump into token number 3. This one for me is exciting. Again, it's been around for a few cycles before. It falls a little bit under the gaming narrative and definitely is a blue chip, and this token is called AVAX. Now this one also excites me highly because look where we are buying it. We are getting entries at this token in the bottom of phase A. This token has been before up to $140. We're now sitting at $27. Now the exciting part is you could see that we are not far from a trend line break, which is important, okay? And once we get through this break, it's very likely we're going to start pushing into phase B. So the exciting thing here, if I'm buying lower phase A, I'm starting to offload into phase B, and I'm looking to offload the rest into phase C. So my buy zones are between $25 and $33 where I've been accumulating. Where I'm offloading 50% of the position is $76 to $88. Then I'll be offloading another 40% between $140 and $152. And this is one token that I do think could go higher. So what I'll do is by the time I get to this take profit point here, I'll be 90% out of the investment and I'll leave 10% in for that little bit more growth. But when we get anywhere near 180 to the $200 mark, I'll be 100% out of this investment. Now let's jump into token number 4. Now this is a little bit under the meme category, right? The meme narrative. And this for me is the king of memes. It's a token that really performs strong in bull, right? Again, it's a token that I only invest in different seasons. When we have this alt rally, I'm investing in it. When we're not, I kind of sit with a little bit more Bitcoin. This token is Dogecoin, right? This is a token for me that gets very fun in cycles. Now, if we look at this over here, you could see that we are sitting right in the middle of phase A. So very good early investment entries where we're sitting. I've been accumulating between this 18 and this 27 cent mark, but a lot of my buys happen around 24 cents. So I'm in the position now. Now the next thing, now if we look at take profit points, we're looking at the next phase up, which we are sitting between the 60 and the 60 cent mark. I'll be 50% out of this position. And again, because this is a little bit more than 100%, I'll already be in profits by the time I take profits, by the time I take something off of the table. Then I'll be exiting the entire position between the 92 and the 98 cent mark. Now we jump into token number 5, also one of my favorites. Now this token I traded a lot in my first cycle, and for me it's a very important token to the ecosystem. It's also the best in its industry, and this is called Chainlink. Now again, Chainlink is a token that's about to go into phase B. It's already showing some strength, already showing us one of the tokens that are leading the large altcoin market. And we are on a verge of breaking a very important trend line, telling me that anywhere in the next few weeks and next few months, we're gonna start seeing a rally into phase B. Now, my zones, I bought a lot between this $22 and $23 mark. The zone though is between $19 and $24, where I'm taking 50% of my capital, right? It's basically 100% away, taking my initial capital out of the token between $46 and $50, where I'm then taking more off the table, which another 40% is between $71 and $75. Then I will leave 10% in for phase D, because I do believe this token can go a lot higher than its previous highs, but I will be 100% out of those investments between the $90 and the $100 mark. Token number 6, one of the biggest discounts in the market. Also L1, and this token is called 𝗦𝗡 Protocol. One of the best in the industry. I like them very much. Again, you can do your research on tokens. The purpose of this is to show you what I'm buying, right? And then after this, to show you exactly how I work this out. You can use the same methods on your tokens. So where I've bought a lot of this token is at $3, right? It's a little bit down now, okay? But anywhere between $2.5 and $3.2 is a huge support zone. Bottom of phase A. This token for me is one of the bigger movers, right? So this does fall a little bit under the higher risk category. So I'll put a little bit less capital into this token. However, I'm looking for it to perform a lot more. So anywhere between the 2.5 and 3.2 is accumulating zones. Where I'm looking to offload is between the 11 and the $13 mark, 50% of my capital. Now guys, that's a couple of 100% away. So by then, I'll already be in a lot of profit, right? Where I'm exiting the next bunch is between $18 and $19. This is the top of phase B. I'll be 90% out of the investments, and I'll leave a little bit more, and anywhere between the $21 and the $23 mark, I'll be 100% out of the investments. This is a token that I do see has potentials of up to 5 to a possible 8x. But again, I can't just think about the 8x, I have to ladder out as the token starts to move. And what gives me a bit of urgency, right, is if you look at the very long trend line, you could see that we are not far from a big breakout. So this for me is a big opportunity. Token number 7, a little bit of a newer token, but for me is one of the best blue chips in the market. And this is Ondo. So Ondo is a little bit newer, but you could see here from the highs to the lows, we are sitting in the middle of phase A. What you can also see is we are not far, we are one green candle away from breaking trend and going into phase B. This token for me is a little bit of a lower risk, as it does have a bit of a higher market cap now. And again, I'm not looking to get a 10x out of this. I'm looking to put a little bit more capital into this and to get my nice 100-200% and to take some profits. So where I've been accumulating, I have bought a lot closer to the dollar mark. We're sitting at 87 cents today. Where I'm looking to offload is the top of phase B, between $1.9 and $2, 50% profits. Then 2.8 to the $3 mark, getting out of up to 90% of the position. And the last 10%, I'm looking to get out between the 3.8 and the $4 mark in phase D. Now we jump onto token number 8, one that I'm also very excited about, and this one falls a little bit under the AI/gaming narrative, and this token is Render. Now this token runs very strong in bull markets, and I love where the chart is sitting. It's now in this accumulation stage, where we previously had a strong rally, now we're coming down, and you can also see that if you put this trend in here, we are one green candle away from popping into phase B. So where I've been buying this token is around 3.5 is where I bought a lot, but the zones here is between the 2.8 and the $4. Nice big support zone to accumulate. When the trend breaks though, things are going to start moving pretty quickly. So a little bit of urgency, right? And where I'm looking to offload is between $10 and $12. I'm going to be getting 50%. Now again, that's a couple 100%. So I'll be in some profits by the time I get out. Then I'm looking to offload the rest anywhere between the $15 and the $17 mark. If I wanted to leave another 10%, that's why I said 40 to 50% here, I might, but as it stands, I'll be out of the entire investment when we get to these areas. Token number 9, Algorand. Now guys, this for me, again, very strong bull market token. It is in the L1 space. I do think they are very good, but it's a volatile token. So when you want to buy these type of tokens, you really want to buy phase A. Right? You want to buy this thing accumulating after it's come down 80 and 90%, because when the rallies happen, it gets highly aggressive to the upside. Has a strong community, has been here before. So where this token for me is in a great accumulating zone is anywhere between the 18 and the 30 cent mark. Quite a decent size range. I've bought a lot of this token around 26 cents. I bought a little bit more, closer to the 22 cent mark. So I'm in around 23, 24 cents. Where I'm looking to offload is quite nice and high up over here, all the way in the top of phase A, where I'll exit 50% is between $1.4 and $1.7. That already will put me in profits. Then I'll be leaving a little bit more in for the phase B. I'll be exiting 40%, which means I'll be 90% out of the investments. I'll leave a little bit more because this token could break highs, possibly. I'm not banking on it, but definitely could. And that's anywhere between $4.1 and $4.4. When we get there, I'll be 100% out of the investment. And again, because this token's a little bit more volatile, I'll be putting a little bit less into this token, but I will speak about that a little bit later in the video. Now, my final token is in the gaming narrative. For me, it's one of the top blue chips. This is called Superfarm. Now, this for me, powerful token, but I love what they're really doing, right? The way Elio is building, the way everything's going, love it, back it, and I do think it's one of the best gaming projects out there. I love the price action even more. This is sitting at the bottom of phase B. This token has been up to $5 before. We're sitting at 55 cents. So for me, I have been accumulating. I bought a lot at 70 cents and I bought more at 60 cents. I'm in around 65 cents. We're even cheaper today. Which is nice for you guys. But if you look here, anywhere between the 50 cents and the 76 cent mark is a good accumulating zone. It's in the bottom of phase A, which means you want to take profits at the bottom of phase B. That's between $2.6 and $3.1, 50% TPs. I'll be taking 50% profits in those areas, which again will put me in a bunch of profits. Where I'm exiting another 40% is between the $4 and the 4.3. I'll be 90% out of the investment by this time. I will leave the 10% because I do think this token will break all-time highs. And when we get to 4.7 to the $5 mark, I will be exiting the entire position. So guys, what you have now is you have the 10 altcoins that I have bought. But what I want to do for you is I want to just show you the simple tools that I used to kind of look at how to identify the phases, where am I looking to kind of buy, and what am I using for my take profit strategy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up a brand new chart. And I'm just going to choose any token here. So I'm going to choose Injective as an example. Okay, so the first thing you do is you zoom out. You're looking at the highest this token has ever been, and you're looking at the lowest this token's ever been. And what you want to do is you want to take a block from the bottom to the middle of where it's been. And this is known as phase A. All that I've just done for you there is just showed you all the red emotions, right? When price was here, a lot of the times, there was a lot of negativity or just not much hope within the token. Then what happens is when the token starts to get above this middle range, okay, so all of a sudden now, token starts getting ready to pop through. People start to get a little bit of hope here. Not fully hope that it's gonna, but maybe it's gonna make it, right? But the moment that it breaks here, then it's certainty. So the key is to invest in this nice and early. And this one, phase A. The next thing is, trend lines are important for me. All big breakouts start from very big trend line breaks. So if you look at this over here, when the bottom of the phase, we broke the trend, look what happened after that. So when it comes to buys, I look at buying phase A, phase B. Phase A is always my #1 priority. But then the next thing that I'm looking at is it ready to go up yet? And the closer they are to the trend line, if not breaking the trend line, means they are ready to go into the next major phase. So by me having a trend line and having the phases where I'm buying, I now have a basic entering strategy. Now let's speak about exiting. So again, my rules is if I'm buying middle of phase A, I need to take some sort of profits in the middle of phase B. You could even take all of it. But what I do is I ladder out. So I like to get out 2 phases above because my rules are I need to sell confidence. So again, here, people not so confident yet, but here's confidence. Buy uncertain, sell certain. So here, as we are making our way to the upside, I want to take something off the table. By the time we get to certain, I want to be at least 90 to 100% out of the token. Now again, this is where I want it to go, right? So I have an idea. Again, you can use support and resistance, you can use a bunch of different things, but I need to have a backup plan. The backup plan is the stochastic RSI monthly. Now what this does is it tells you when the market's oversold and overbought on a very high time frame scale. You could see this token's actually only ever been oversold twice and overbought once, right? So this only happens every few years. But the key here is I'm using phases and trend lines to buy, but I have an idea where we can get. Now, if we go there and we just short and this RSI is at the top, it's just warning me. You might get a little bit short, get out, right? Or what happens is price gets here and this is only halfway. I can then decide to say, you know what, instead of 50, I'm gonna take 30% out. It's always important to take money off the table, guys. Super, super, super important. But if I see, oh, this might actually break through, it might give me an understanding that, hey, this might go to the next phases above too, so just keep that in mind. But this is the backup. If this is at the top, okay, and I'm either above or below where I want to sell, it's telling me, hey, you might not get exactly where you want, but you can start taking some profits. So just by using trend lines, phases, and stochastic RSI, I have a very simple investment strategy. Now I want to speak about the next important part, which is money allocation. So what I've done is I have 10 altcoins here. But the first question I have to ask myself when I'm investing in an altcoin, what is the risk here? And the way I calculate risk is the volatility. When Bitcoin comes down 30%, this token comes down 80%, it's not a very strong token and it's very risky because when things go bad, it's dropping incredibly hard. The next thing I look at as well is where am I buying it? If I am buying this thing in phase C, even though it can be the best token in the world, it's actually a very risky buy. So that for me is a high risk category. But let's say I'm buying a token that's right in the bottom of phase A. It can be a little bit volatile, but I'm buying it after it's come down 95%. That could also form under a lower risk. So the way I've calculated these tokens is I've set them into 3 different parts. We have low risk, medium risk, and high risk. And what I have is I've invested $10,000 into these tokens. Now the tokens in my low risk category is Cardano, it's Solana, it is Chainlink, and it is Ondo. These for me are top blue chips in the market and are at very good investment buys. These tokens won't grow as much as the rest, okay, but they won't drop as hard either. And where I'm buying them is in good phases, but I'm not looking for the 10,000%. Looking for 100, 200%, keep a lot of my money in nice blue chips, and I'm happy with that. Then we jump to the medium risk category. This is 35% capital, so $3,500 into these tokens. These tokens are Doge, AVAX, Algorand, and Near Protocol. So again, these tokens are a little bit more volatile than the tokens above, but we are buying all these tokens in phase A. They are blue chips, they are great tokens to the upside, but they are a little bit more volatile to the downside. Therefore, I put a little bit less capital into these tokens. And the final category is the high risk. These are tokens that will make you crazy money to the upside, but they can drop dramatically in bear markets. So the key here again is buy phase A when it comes to high risk. I don't even buy phase B. Phase A, very important. And these 2 tokens is Render and Superfarm. They are blue chips, they are incredible, but they are in a narrative that is highly volatile. So where I've bought them, I'm very happy with, but I've only put $1,500 into these 2 tokens. So guys, there are 3 big categories we just went through. So if you look at this sheet over here, this is my buy list. The tokens that I've bought, the areas where I bought them, and where I am laddering out. Then here is a nice little understanding of how much money I've put into all of these tokens. So guys, let's have a quick recap. The first section of this video is to show you the altcoins that I have bought, the blue chips in the market. The second part was to show you a simple strategy of knowing when to buy these tokens within phase A and phase B and looking to sell them in phase C and phase D. And the third part is, it is so important to understand you can buy altcoins, but know how much money to put into each. Split them into categories: low risk, medium risk, high risk. And by doing this, it will give the ability to buy lots of altcoins, but not over leverage or over risk yourself by putting too much money into the high risk tokens. And with this simple method, guys, you could truly have a fantastic next couple of years within crypto. So guys, 3 simple steps to help you on your journey. I'm Sheldon the Sniper. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, hit the subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember, keep trading simple.